Hello, good morning. What's going on, everybody? Kevin Walsh from Ninja Holistic Health and Fitness. Welcome back to week 4 of permanent weight loss. So what we're looking at right now is the action plan, which I'm very excited to share with you today. This is a culmination of everything that I've showed over the past 4 weeks into a very specific plan of action, which if you follow this, I absolutely guarantee you 100% you will hit your weight loss goal and you will maintain it for the rest of your life. That is an absolute guarantee. So definitely a big pitch right there, but you'll see pretty soon why that's the case. And just as a quick recap, when you're trying to lose weight, whether it's 10 pounds, 20 pounds, 50, you just want to have a more toned physique, more defined physique, whatever the goal might be, following a plan that includes all 4 pillars of health that I described: diet, exercise, sleep, and stress management. That is the key. If you try to isolate any one of those pillars and focus exclusively on one, or on 2 out of 4, or even 3 out of 4, with 1 or more of them kind of left off to the side, you're very, very likely to fail in the long run. So you want to look at it from a holistic outlook. The more holistic we are with the way we approach things, the more likely we are to carry that for the rest of our lives as a game plan for a healthy lifestyle. So with that said, I'm going to go through each one of these. So each pillar is going to have 3 points on it, 3 items. Try and do all of these things in totality 80% of the time. If you do 80% of the stuff that's on here 80% of the time, you will definitely hit your weight loss goal, and it'll be something that you have for the rest of your life, rather than just yo-yoing on a 4-week, to a better body, type of plan, which you see very commonly in this industry, where you just kind of go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. This is going to ensure that you do it for good. So, with no further ado, let's get into it. The first thing, chew slowly and mindfully. So when you're eating, no matter what the food is, ice cream, pizza, cake, okay? If you're gonna eat those foods, eat them slowly and eat them thoroughly and mindfully. Chew thoroughly and mindfully. So by doing that, what that's gonna allow you to do is digest better. You're gonna have more fullness of feeling because you take longer to eat. You also absorb and digest the foods better. So that's number 1. Number 2, eat to 80% fullness. So 100% fullness, what that feels like right there, chop off about 1/5 of that, and then that's about the right size of food to eat, for a given meal for yourself. 80% fullness, not all the way. And then the last thing is for serving sizes. This is from Dr. John Berardi, who's very, very, he's had all kinds of weight loss results with people with hundreds of pounds over and over and over again. And what he recommends is the fist, palm, cupped hand, and thumb portion sizes. So a fist represents how much you should have in the way of vegetables. So this is 1 serving is a fist of vegetables. A cupped handful would be for carbohydrates, so this is for fruits or for any kind of a starch. A thumb would be for fats, and finally the palm, right? The palm of your hand is a protein portion. So if you look at that, and basically generally for women, we're looking at, as again, this is just a generalization, and then from there you kind of take it in an individual route for yourself. 1 for each, so 1 palm of protein, 1 fist of vegetables, 1 cupped handful of carbohydrates, and 1 thumb of fats per meal. So if you do that throughout the duration of the day for every single meal, you're in pretty good shape. For men, it would be twice that, so it would be generally 2. And again, you individualize this. Some men would only need 1. If it's a workout day, you might need 2 or 3, whatever the case might be, and then you kind of mix it from there. However, 1 for women, 2 for men is a pretty good place to start. So that's for the diet part. All right, now moving on to exercise. Number 1, walk. Try to walk 1 mile every single day continuously. So commonly, people are told to take a certain number of steps per day, which can be beneficial. That's definitely better than not walking at all. But in my experience, you got to get just 1 mile of walking a day. We have legs for a reason. We need to use them as much as possible. The more we walk, the better. Think about what we would have to do if we didn't have the kind of sedentary lifestyle that's fostered by our society, the way that we are, with office work and with being in cars all the time, etc. We would have to walk everywhere that we go. So it only makes sense to walk 1 mile a day. That's really a minimum. If you look at people in different parts of the world that don't have the amenities that we do here in America and in the first world, no matter where you happen to be, Europe, etc., they walk mile after mile after mile. So 1 mile is really not a lot to ask for. It's a pretty minimum thing. Second thing, stand up every 30 minutes. So if you're at your desk, right, and this is great if you can't necessarily walk a mile. Let's say that you have a really busy day from 6 a.m. or 5:30 a.m. all the way till the moment you get to bed. Okay, Get up every 30 minutes from your desk and just literally shake out your body, shake out your arms, maybe do a few flexion extension stretches, just kind of move the body in different ways so that you get some blood flow, so you're not just sitting stagnant all day long. And the last one is break a heavy sweat 2 to 3 times a week. So that's basically any kind of exercise that's going to be intense enough to really push you, whether it's strength training or high intensity interval training, some kind of very intense conditioning, something that's going to make you break a sweat and basically have an elevated heart rate where you're huffing and puffing. You have that 2 to 3 times a week, and that'll pretty much cover you on the exercise. Remember, this is something that you want to do regularly every single week. So that's that for the exercise portion. And moving on, we've got sleep. So sleep is something that definitely a lot of people tend to not pay much attention to. So we want to get 7 to 9 hours of sleep every single night. My recommendation is 8. I know personally, if I have anything less than 8 on a day that I've worked out, the next day I'm definitely lagging, and sometimes I'll even get headaches, slight headaches, because of the lack of sleep. So between 7 to 9 is definitely the pocket that you want to hit on average. The more the better, but 7 is definitely a minimum. If you go below the 7 threshold, your hormonal system will be imbalanced. You'll end up with a lot of cortisol going through the body more often than it should, and a lack of regenerative processes in your cellular functions. And next is get to bed by 10:30 p.m. as often as possible. So the closer you go to bed to sunset, the better off you're going to be. When you're going through the day, our bodies basically go through this ebb and flow, right, of melatonin and cortisol. Melatonin is your sleepy hormone, cortisol is your go, go, go hormone. So when your cortisol is up, your melatonin is down, vice versa. When you get to a certain point during the night, right around the 10 p.m. mark, that is when your physical body starts to go through naturally its process of repair. So if you're still up and moving or doing something like watching television and you're not resting fully and completely, your body can't repair itself properly. And then once you get into really closer to past midnight, 1 a.m., your neurological, your brain repair processes start to really kick into high gear. And that's why if you do like an all-nighter as a college student, you feel like a zombie the next day, because that repair process of the brain is going on while you're still up trying to study. So get to bed by 10:30 p.m. as often as possible. And the very last thing is dim the lights. So after sunset, dim the lights. That creates an environment internally in the house that's more akin to the outside world of nature, so that our bodies can kind of come down a little bit. When light hits the eyes and the retina, when we have light coming in, it tells our body to wake up, and we start to excrete stress hormones to get us going for the day. So that's not obviously in our best interest at nighttime. So that's it for sleep. And very last, we'll get into stress. This is another big one. We're all very stressed out in the modern day. Meditate for about 10 minutes a day. So if you can get a practice of silence meditation, just sitting in total silence with your thoughts, with just the present moment, kind of breathing and relaxing, and allowing yourself to just unwind a little bit. You could use this with alpha waves or theta waves playing in the background to kind of help you foster a sense of calm and relax the mind a little bit. There are many different ways that you can meditate. You can do Tai Chi, you can do Qigong, but getting 10 minutes a day straight to just have that little unwind is really, really key. The second thing is a gratitude journal. Tony Robbins has a really good thing of saying it's impossible to be both grateful and angry or stressed out at the same time. And I found that to be very true. So if you have just some time, maybe 5-10 minutes a day, to really focus on what you're grateful for and what's really given your life purpose, meaning, unconditional love, the people who you care about, the things that you're just very, very grateful for, and really feel that and kind of get with that for a moment, it puts things in perspective, and it helps you to see that the things that go through our daily life are what they are, but we don't have to be so caught up in them that we lose sight of what matters to us most, because we only have a very short duration in this world, and then we're gone. So we want to make the most of it and be happy as possible while we're on our way. So gratitude journals are really good practice. And the last thing, and I'll be perfectly honest with you, and this is coming from a personal trainer, and I put a premium on exercise and nutrition and things like that. This right here is probably the biggest X factor of all. If you do this, I promise you, you will rewire your mind for success. Dealing with your inner demons and using the recapitulation process to really purge a lot of old negative energy that's been festering for a while. The reason that we often go to therapists is because we don't address these issues as individuals. We just kind of let things bubble and bubble and bubble to the point where we feel like we're going to burst, and then we go and see someone for help. we can do this on our own. And the recapitulation process is something that I learned, that was passed down to me, that had a huge impact on my life. And I highly recommend that you use this for yourself as well. I'll put a link in the below in the email, so you can click on that, and hopefully you use this to your advantage. And again, I implore, don't let this go past your conscious mind. Give it a shot, and you'll be amazed at the results that you get from this. I gave this to a couple of my clients recently, and they both were really amazed at how well it was able to change their own perceptions that they often had that were negative regarding, different things, different roadblocks that they had along their health and fitness path. So with that said, that's the stress, and there's your 4 pillars. So again, just do it 80% of the time. If you do these 3 items on each of these, I guarantee you're going to lose weight for the rest of your life, and you'll have a feeling of well-being and health that you will be blown away by. So last thing I want to say is I wasn't always in this position, as I've mentioned in many other videos. It took me a long time to learn all this, but I was 60 pounds heavier at one point. I was a cigarette smoker. I was in the worst health of my life, and when I was 21, I felt like I was 51, and I thought that I was doomed. And I just went step by step, little by little, making small incremental changes. And I got to where I am today, to where I'm in the best shape of my life. I have a ton of energy, I'm happy, I'm healthy, and you can have the exact same thing for yourself on the level that you want for yourself. So put in the work, just change yourself from within, and I guarantee you'll be very happy that you did it. It's well worth the journey. And with that said, I wish you the best on your own journey. If there's anything that I can do to help you out along the way, feel free to email me, kwninjatrainer@gmail.com. And also keep in mind, obviously I do this professionally, so I'm happy to take on anybody who's interested in having an in-home personal trainer who has a holistic outlook. And if you're interested in hitting any goals, absolutely feel free to contact me. And you can reach me at 609-577-1913, my email as mentioned before. And with that said, I wish you the best of luck, and we'll go into the next series going into the next month. And what I want to do is just let me know, actually send me an email if you could, or even just respond in some way, some health and fitness topics that you would like to see on the videos to come, and I'm happy to go ahead and do that so that I can serve you as best as possible and give you the information that you're looking for. So enjoy the rest of your week. Have an awesome Monday. Chase your dreams. Good luck to you on your path, and I will see you soon.